Today on Tools in Action, we're freezing our butts off just for you. We're talking about the king of table saws, I would say. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely up there, yeah.
I know DeWALT's always had one of the best table saws on the market. Their rack and pinion system has been known by professionals to be one of the truest tracking ones, or the, you know, when you put a piece of wood on this, it's going to cut straight. You don't have to worry about the fence being
Yeah, and part of it is
tilted.
because of that system. Yeah, good point.
Right.
I've been using the Bosch. Don't get me wrong, the Bosch is really nice, but I've never really had that much experience with DeWalt. I see a lot of people use them, and I've used them on job sites and stuff like that, but I've never owned my own DeWalt table saw. And I got to say that rack and pinion system is smooth. It's nice.
It's precise.
Precise. One thing I like is, you know, I'm so used to having fences where you clamp them down. You clamp them down on the one side, and sometimes it can pinch it a little bit because of how it clamps, so you don't always get that true cut all the time.
Yeah, and I've always had that problem.
So this system is definitely, I think, top of the line out there on any of the table saws I've seen.
Yeah, and that's why I went with the, actually I have the predecessor to this, I think it's the DWE7491RS. Great table saw, splits apart into two so I can fit it in my truck bed, especially under my tonneau cover. You know, the great thing about DeWalt is, you know, actually this one's got a really lot of nice accessory storage features to it, and the largest rip capacity out of any portable table saw.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just like this design, how they've gone all light with it. You know, like there's all open areas here. On mine, when you're done cutting, you might want to put it in, some people put it in their car, but when I put it in the back of my truck, all the sawdust comes out. You know, even when you blow it off, there's just those hidden areas. This is kind of an open design, so you're not really going to get that. It's going to stay clean and kind of keep your saw from fouling up as much, I think.
No, you know what? It's a good point. I don't really care about the bed of my truck getting dirty at all, but I hate, you know, because I always forget I'll clean up or something like that, and I always forget, you know, once I turn the table saw upside down, then dust goes everywhere. I get it in my boots or something like that. So no, that's a good point.
Right. So what do we got, Eric? Talk to me about this saw.
We got a DeWalt table saw here, Dan.
No, this is DeWalt?
It
Are you
is,
kidding?
yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's what the yellow is. I was wondering.
I got to say, again, this is my first DeWalt table saw I've owned. I don't have hours upon hours upon hours of cutting on it, but I've done some stuff on here, and it's a nice system. First, I'd like to start off by the actual stand is really nice. When I first got it, that was the first question I had Dan. I said, does it split apart? Because for me, I like having that capacity of being able to take the stand off, or the stand away from the table.
Makes it lighter.
Yeah, to throw it on the back of the truck or under the cover. This one doesn't, but not a huge deal. Would be nice if it did.
I mean, you can with 4 screws, but it would be nice
Yeah.
to have a quick release. you
Yeah, I
know,
definitely like
just on
that. The stand is sturdy. As you can see, cutting a full sheet of, you know, 3/4 inch plywood, pushing on it, the stand stays in place. So I really can't complain, because for me, that's the most important thing, is I don't
Yeah.
like pushing on, you know, wood or
Right.
something like that. And then now you're fighting the stand. It's dangerous. It's just.
And you see that a lot with gravity stands, I feel like. You know, with gravity stand saws, you'll see they got a little bit of rock
You
to them.
do,
This might
exactly.
take you a little longer to set up, maybe, you know, 30 seconds longer, but the stability is unmatched.
Well, what's nice about the stand is, you know, obviously you got the 4 legs on here, but you can pop the 2 ones up top. Normally on other stands you got to bend down. This one you can just kick right down with your foot. So
Right.
you're not bending over. I know it's just bending over, not a huge deal, but still.
You bend
something
over
else.
all the time, Eric.
I do.
You love bending over.
It's got, you know, for Dan was saying, is open underneath. I like it because you can store all your accessories on
Easily,
there.
not
Yeah.
like finicky messing around.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the guard is amazing.
Yeah, and speaking of the guard, I mean, it's my biggest thing, I know you're supposed to use these things. I know you're supposed to. I don't always use them, and the reason being is just being lazy. You know, nothing's ever happened with me on the table saw, so, you know, I just get lazy doing it because it's a pain to set up. DeWalt made it a point to make it real easy. I mean, all you do is pull this lever, take it out, and you just pop this new one right down there. You don't even have to take the plate off or anything. It's really that easy. So for this system, you have no excuse for not using this.
Right. Well,
Well,
unless
you do,
got a
but-
big rip or something. But with the guard also, it's got another dust extraction port. So that's 2 dust extraction ports. So it's gonna,
Yeah.
you know, it's gonna suck up a lot. If your vacuum can handle 2.
Now, I don't really, you know, I'm sure there's, obviously it's going to suck it up and stuff like that, but for me, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'll use it somehow, some way, but when you're sliding wood through, I mean, that cord, unless that cord's above you, if it's over here, I mean, I think that cord, you know, the hose would be getting in the way.
Well,
Personal
yeah,
opinion,
who
but it
knows?
depends the size of, you know, what you're cutting.
Depends
too.
on your shop situation. And then you can just change
You
over
know?
to just a regular riving knife, just pulling it. I mean, that is huge. A lot of tools,
That is.
you have to stick your hand down there right by the blade and pull. It's hard. You might cut yourself.
Well, it's a
you know.
small space in there. Speaking of that, I like how you take the plate off there. It's just, you just turn it. You don't have to use a screw. You don't have to use anything like that. Now, as long as it's open, one nice thing about this saw is you can use a Dado Blade on here. That's key. I love having the capacity to be able to do that. Downside though, they do not include the Dado plate. But you know what? My Bosch didn't either. I had to go out and buy a separate plate for that. I went to Amazon and bought a different plate.
Is that from DeWALT, the plate?
The Dado plate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That Bosch one, I don't even remember. I think that Bosch one might have been a third party.
Oh, really? That's
well,
weird.
It was hard because I found every one I saw was plastic. I just wanted to get a metal one.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the easiest thing to do. Would be nice if it came with this, but again, other manufacturers aren't always coming with, you know, they don't put that in there. 15 amp motor, it's powerful. So, I mean, you're pretty much going to rip through anything. You know what? The biggest thing, the bottom line is fast startup, cuts through basically anything, large capacity, easy to manage the accessories. I don't, you know, there's not really much more to say. I mean, those are the big things.
And precision.
Yeah, precision. Yeah,
oh,
that's
safety.
a big one.
Talking safety, duh. New switch design right here. And I actually love the new switch design.
Yeah,
I think it's super safe. Right on the outside, you have rubber encased switch, so the dirt's not going to get in there, get it all dirty.
Yeah, it's dust protected, yep.
Yeah, dust protected. So, I mean, that's just life of the saw, and you're not going to have any issues. But the great thing is I like how they added this big plastic kind of off switch here. So, you know, because sometimes you have your work in your hands, I mean, obviously, you have to work safe. But you might have a piece of plywood coming, all of a sudden you get a jam or something like that, something bad's happening, and you can just reach up with your knee and hit it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just right there. You don't have to go fumbling for it or hit it. It's got a lockout on it. So, you know, I mean, obviously, when you're working on this thing, you should have it unplugged and also locked out, I guess. But I don't know. I just love that. I think it's great. I love safety, and I love that switch. Yep. What do you think? Oh, leaves. Oh. Leaves. It's cold out here. Brr.
You know, again, like you said, you know what I forgot about? Precision. That's huge. Yeah, again, onboard.
Yeah, onboard storage.
And it's right there. It's not in the back where some of them are in the back, and you start doing your cut and you forgot, oh man, my push stick, you know, it's right there. If you do forget it, it's right there. You can grab it right through, so that's nice.
Right, and you know, you never know when you need a push stick. Because a lot of people just use wood from the job site for their push stick.
That's what I usually do.
You know, but yeah, not if this is right here.
You know, yeah.
You know, you're not going to have any hands left if you start running these things without guards.
I know, I'm surprised I made it this long. Man, knocking on wood now, I'm all nervous.
I know,
but you know what? You
should
be using your safety stuff. You should always use safety. That's why it's on here, is to protect you. It's to protect the user.
This is one of the most dangerous tools on a job site if you do not use it correctly.
Yeah, I'd have to say maybe a nail gun. Well, yeah, I'm sure this takes off a lot of fingers. Dude, you know how many times those things misfire?
Yeah, but a nail gun, man, you get a nail through the finger, boo-hoo, man. This thing will take off your
Dude,
leg.
have you seen the framing nails? Those nails, dude. Those. Those things hit. You see pictures all the time where you got people stuck in their head and stuff like that.
How do you get one stuck in your head? That's a little crazy.
Well, you keep talking to me like that, you'll see.
No, but I mean, they are dangerous. You got to just make sure that you know, use them in a safe manner. And I think DeWALT's just gone above with the switch and made it real safe.
Yeah, it's a real nice table saw.
And it's light, easy to pull around the job site. So, you know, one person can lift it up in the truck. Obviously not Eric, he's a little old now. But,
you know, out of weight.
A young laborer can easily lift this in and out of the back of your truck. So, and storage is great. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I really don't have more to say.
What do you need to add, Eric?
I don't. It's a nice saw. That's bottom line is
yeah,
nice
you can't go wrong with the DeWALT, the DWS780, one of the best miter saws that we've done too. DeWALT is just there for precision, for reliability, just for job site ruggedness. You're not going to go wrong with a DeWALT. Even for the homeowner, you want to spend that extra money, you want to get a saw that's going to last and maybe possibly even save your life, be safer. Get this. And when I say that, people are like, what, save your life? Well, if you go to Menards and get yourself an $80, you know, Master Force table saw, the thing's all wobbly, you're pushing, something's gonna happen. This is stability. I want my cutting surface as stable as possible, and I'm telling you right now, there's no saw in the market that comes close to this.
No, and that's huge. Speaking of that, my very first table saw was a Craftsman, and I'm not knocking Craftsman. They've got some, you know, nice stuff at all, you know. But it was a table saw. It was a little, you know, portable table saw. And I remember the stand on that thing was so chintzy. At the time, I didn't know any better. But I'm sitting there pushing wood through the thing, and you know, it's constantly, you're constantly fighting the thing. I finally had two little bars on the bottom. I'd always have to put like sandbags or something on there to really, and it's still, even once you started going with a bigger piece of wood, it was just
to me, that's danger, man.
Yeah, it was bad. I can't believe it looking back on those days that it was, it was like that, but whatever.
Yeah.
So
Check it out. Don't forget Ultimate Tool Bag giveaways coming up.
Yes.
We just added the DeWALT DWE7491RS.
couple more weeks.
Right.
More weeks.
A couple more weeks.
Yeah. Well,
Dude.
longer than a couple weeks, a month.
Like 6 weeks.
Sorry,
Wow,
6 weeks.
man.
6 weeks. I'm getting
Couple
excited about it.
weeks.